Okay, guys, Suzuki, I'm back. I thought I'd try something a little different today. Today I wanted to take a look at playthroughs of some video games. And I found one a couple months ago called Land of War: The Beginning. It was made by MS Games, which is a small independent developer studio in Poland. And I played through it. It's actually pretty good. It got destroyed on the Steam reviews. But honestly, I think it's a shining gem. And as someone who's not only a World War II history nerd, but specifically has a soft spot for the Polish military history of World War II, this game really scratched an itch that I wanted to see, for a long time. So yeah, this game is set in the invasion of Poland during 1939. To my knowledge, it's the only first-person shooter game that I can find that has that setting. So I thought I'd do like a brief playthrough through a level or two and just point out, why I actually like this game, and I think it's above average. Now, it's not a perfect game. It does have bugs. The voice acting is bad. The voice acting is bad. It's easily the biggest flaw in this game, but I do think this game is highly underrated. And for an independent studio, I'm very impressed by what MS Games is able to put together. Okay, so beginning Makra Village. Now there is an option to have English English language dialogue in the game, but the English voice acting is horrendous. Like, I've never seen something that bad before in my life. So I set to the original Polish language dialogue with English subtitles. Even then, the voice acting isn't great, but it's a lot better than the English dubbing. I know some people complain about this game constantly crashing. It only crashed once on me. It was a bad crash. I had to restart my computer, but it never did it again. And I played this game for almost 100 hours.
Zaczęło się. Siły niemieckie wkroczyły na nasze terytorium. Mają wielką przewagę zarówno w liczebności, jak i w uzbrojeniu. Wieluń został zbombardowany bez żadnego
That is
ostrzeżenia.
true. The city of Wieluń
A to dopiero
was bombed
początek.
by the
Musimy za
Luftwaffe,
wszelką cenę
and
spowolnić
there
pochód
were
armii
no
niemieckiej.
military
Nasi
installations there.
sojusznicy
Not even
muszą
anti-aircraft
wyczuć nasz
guns.
zdecydowany
So the city
opór.
was
Muszą wiedzieć, że
absolutely
zdobycie
defenseless.
każdego skrawka polskiej ziemi
And
jest
this is set in
okupione
the Battle of
krwią.
Makra,
Tylko wtedy
which
możemy
occurred on the
liczyć na
first day
ich
of the
pomoc.
campaign. It was
Tereny w pobliżu wsi Mokra
actually
są
ended in a Polish
kluczowe w
victory.
realizacji tego planu. Osada
And
położona nieopodal granicy
the
będzie
Germans
stanowić
suffered heavy
doskonałe
casualties. I think like
miejsce do
500 killed
obrony.
and wounded
Zasadnicza
in
część
just in one
sił
day trying to
wroga
capture.
uderzy od strony lasu na nasze okopy. Musimy tam wytrwać tak długo, jak to możliwe. W razie potrzeby
I think the
w
heavier
odwodzie
fighting,
czeka
or
na
at
nas
least there was
wsparcie
more
gotowe
resistance
ruszyć,
in
gdy
Westerplatte,
tylko otrzyma sygnał z
but
pobliskiej
this game doesn't
radiostacji.
take place there.
Dotarcie do niej może
I'm a little
jednak
surprised
okazać się
about.
problematyczne ze względu na niemieckie oddziały, rozciągnięte na
Change the
całą
view.
szerokość naszych linii obronnych. Jedno jest pewne. Razem i tylko tak możemy zwyciężyć. A jeśli nasz los jest już z góry przesądzony, to też razem zginiemy w obronie
This game does get
ojczyzny.
this right. The Poles actually had really high morale in the beginning. They didn't quite realize what was coming for them, or quite how devastating this war was going to be. And one of the reasons I so much admire the Polish army during World War II is because even when the Soviet Union joined the invasion, and even when it became, it became obvious that Poland would fall, they never surrendered. They fought pretty much to the last man, and their courage and bravery and fighting, and added to the fact they were fighting alone. That's something that I really admire. Okay, let's see. Yeah, loading screens can be long sometimes, but no, I think it's almost done.
przydzielony wraz z oddziałem do obrony przed pola wsi Mokra. Po drodze łączyliśmy się z napotkanymi wojskami. Dobrze było być wśród swoich, śmiać się i wzajemnie motywować. Nie mogło to jednak potrwać zbyt długo.
You can actually see the graphics aren't too bad in this game.
Marek, poratujesz mnie papierosem?
Dobra, trzymaj. Ale jesteśmy już winni drugą paczkę.
Dzięki,
Original
pamiętam.
Polish dialogue with English subtitles. English subtitles. Sorry.
Jak tam panowie? Fajne było to, co?
Idź do diabła. Matko, co to za fatalna pogoda. Nie maruj. Zawsze mogło być gorzej.
Na przykład?
Na przykład, gdybyśmy się tu zakopali i już teraz musielibyśmy dołączyć do reszty. Coś w tym jest. Muszę przyznać. Andrzej, dobrze się czujesz? Coś blado wyglądasz. Oj, chyba nerwy nie wytrzymują.
Oho. Zbliżamy się już do naszych pozycji.
Słyszałem, że Niemcy mają duże ilości wojsk. Oby nas ominęli.
Nad ranem Wieluń został zbombardowany przez ich samoloty. Całe miasto stoi w ogniu.
Wieluń? Przecież tam nie stacjonują żadne nasze wojska.
Now that's true. Like I mentioned before, the city of Yelon in Poland had no military significance. In fact, you could probably call it the first German war crime of World War II, was the bombing of Yelon. They killed, I forget if it was 50 or a couple hundred civilians. But yeah, the city was absolutely defenseless. Like I mentioned before, they didn't even have any anti-aircraft units around there, so they had no way to protect themselves from the Luftwaffe, and the Germans utterly destroyed the city. And you know, it was basically state-sponsored terrorism. Anyway, back to the mission.
Tak. Też mi się to nie mieści w głowie.
Dobra, skończcie te pogaduchy i skoncentrujcie się. Brać się za rozładunek. Wszystko musi się jak najszybciej znaleźć na swoich miejscach. Kowalski,
Tak, panie poruczniku?
ty idź przenieść amunicję do okopu. Skrzynie są kawałek dalej.
Rozkaz.
Okay. So, one thing I really like about this game is it's very, if not historically accurate, it's very authentic. And I do think it has some good points in accuracy. Let me just look at that. Yeah, as you can see, the helmet he's wearing, that's a WZ-31. That was the standard issue Polish Army helmet in 1939. I actually own one. It's one of my most prized possessions. I won it in an auction for about $150. They're really hard to find now. His helmet looks a little strange. The front of the helmet, the crest should be a little flatter. But no, it's not that big a deal. The webbing is correct. The uniform is correct. I don't have the pants or the boots, but I do have that military field tunic as well. I have it, well, it's a reproduction. I don't have the original. Weapons. Yeah, that's one problem with this game is you sometimes you do get frame rate stutters at times, but other than that, it's playable. You know, I rarely have problems with this. The weapon I'm carrying is a Mauser WZ-29. Yes, that was a Polish copy of the German Mauser rifle, and yes, it was the standard issue weapon for the Polish Army in 1939. Now, what confuses me is him, the lieutenant. The gun he's carrying, that is a real gun. It is. It's a WZ-39 Morse. However, this was supposed to be a standard issue submachine gun for the Polish Army, but only 29 were made. Now they did see combat in the invasion of Poland, so it's not impossible for him, especially since he's an officer, to have this gun. But I think it would be unlikely that he would have this. Still, it is a very nice piece of history, and I have not seen this in another game. You do actually get to fire this in a later mission, and I'll probably do another video on that too. Yeah. Anyway, setting looks nice. The Germans did shell Makra before attacking. As you can see, there is battle damage. They got that right. That looks like a Bofors anti-tank cannon. That looks good. Oh, hold on, no frame rates there. Now, the weather is a little confusing for me. I thought that in Makra on September 1st it was a relatively clear day, maybe overcast. I don't recall reading about it being this bad weather. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I just don't remember that. Anyway, maybe I should see what the mission.
Czołem, miałem pomóc przy...
Niemcy zaatakowali! Wszyscy na pozycję, do okopów!
You can hear the soundtrack in the background. One of the things I really like about this game is the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is an excellent soundtrack. Shit. Germans coming. As you can hear in the background, the voice acting is really all the best, but you know, the combat's fun. Weapons function realistically. Yep, he loads it with a strip clip. That's correct. You can hear that in the background. I really love the soundtrack. Actually, it's better than some of the AAA games.
Wrogie czołgi. Karabinem ich nie zniszczę. Muszę znaleźć coś innego.
Turning in the controls can be a little awkward. That's why I'm trying to kind of some more up here. I'll take a look at those after this section's over. This, yep, WZ-35. This is again a real anti-tank rifle used by the Poles. Those tanks look like Panzer Is. Pretty useless tank. I mean, the Germans after the invasion of Poland much. Just because, even though it was light mobile, it was very thinly armored, and I think it was only 2 machine guns, no cannons. Really, it was maybe a conservative purpose. Junior uniform looks good. With dark green, that was what they wore in the invasion in 1939. So yeah, the developers of this game did their research. More than I can say for Call of Duty Vanguard, you know, with STG-44s in 1943 being carried by the Japanese troops. And blown up. Oh, he's also wearing an accurate cap now.
Kowalski! Zbliża się wrogie lotnictwo! Przejmij go forca na tyłach!
Turning is a little awkward.
Biegiem!
And the Bofors anti-air gun looks pretty good. And that's actually period accurate. I didn't know that. The Stuka sirens were actually... Stuka sirens actually were not very widespread in 1989. dropping bombs or something. It's a lot of Stukas to send out to this one, but I get it. You're gonna have to make some. You need some artistic license. Yeah, that sometimes happens. I've had that happen before. You shoot down a Stuka, it crashes into you. Okay, one problem with this game is the checkpoints aren't always consistent. Sometimes they set you back to like the beginning of the level. Other times they don't. This one I think is a little more forgiving. But yeah, later on in the game, especially in the last level, if you die, like, it sets you way back. Okay. But yeah, the sirens, like I was saying with the Stuka, the sirens are actually not very widely used in 1939. They were more used in like 1940 during the invasion of France and the Battle of Britain. But yeah, in 1939, the Germans didn't really use them that much. And Germans actually suffered pretty heavy air casualties. They lost more planes than the Poles did. A lot of people don't know that. Well, yep, just sends me back to the gun. Come on. There we go. If I stop talking. The rate of fire from this gun is accurate. Profor's gun, it's a little outdated this time, but, you know, it still works. But yeah, the rate of fire, they got that right with this gun, too. I don't recall many aircraft being used in the Battle of Warcraft by the Germans. I mean, this could just be for gameplay reasons. But still, you know, it's modeled well, functioning well. I can't say enough good things about this soundtrack. Especially for an independent developer studio, like, this is a really good soundtrack. Like, there was a lot of effort put into this game. There was a lot of effort, a lot of heart. They really did their homework. More than I can say for, like, Call of Duty Vanguard.
Wyceluj, strzelaj, zabij, przyładuj. Ten cykl powtarzał się bez końca. Coraz mniej brałem pod uwagę, że strzały kierowane były do żywych istot, mających marzenia, ambicje, tak samo jak ja. Chciałbym przestać postrzegać ich jako ludzi.
I know I'm looking at
Inaczej nie dałbym
I
rady.
love this soundtrack. I really do. This part does have a difficulty spike. The enemies start to inflict a lot of damage around this part, so but yeah, as long as you keep the gun aimed in the right direction, the shield shit. So this, by the way, is a Browning WZ-30. There's a copy of the American Browning light machine gun. Again, very accurate. The Poles actually love to copy a lot of American designs, like the 1911, Browning, BAR, WZ-28, which also appears in this edition. And this is actually accurately displayed. When the Germans first tried to enter Mokra, they were slaughtered. Like, they were badly they were badly repelled. And then the Germans were not able to take them off. I can't figure out exactly when Malta fell, but I think it was they didn't fall, but the Poles just retreated, because there was the order to fall back to Warsaw. Shit, almost dead. Come on, shit. These spikes can get annoying at times. Regen. Yeah, I left that flank unfigured.
Dobra robota, panowie. Przegrupowanie! 4. pluton, do mnie!
So I could take a look at these weapons I was mentioning earlier. Have the NG-30 Nagant. I think that just looks like a regular Nagant revolver. Thompson M1928. I don't think the Poles made their own copy of the Thompson SMG, but they definitely had. But I know they had some, generally for police use at the time of the invasion. This, though, the PVD-30. No. Now, this was a real gun, but only one was made, and it was a Soviet prototype. So, and it never saw combat use, so it would not be here. I think that's just, I mean, it's a cool gun, don't get me wrong, but it does not belong here. And this looks like a P-35, which was the standard issue Polish handgun, or sidearm. Here I have the WZ-35, which was a Polish copy of the 1911. This is the default sidearm for this mission. You should be armed with this pistol. In fact, I'll switch to it. There. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Yep, frame rate stutter. I'm going this way. But yeah, this opening scene was true. The Germans were repelled the first time they tried to enter Mokro. The Panzers then tried to shell the defensive positions, but it did not break the Polish defenses. That looks like a Hotchkiss heavy machine gun, World War I era. It would make sense. Poles did use a lot of World War I era weapons. Pretty good. He's carrying a WZ-1928, like I mentioned earlier, Polish copy of the BAR. Very good weapon, just as good as the BAR. Anyway. Oh. Is that a Maxim gun? I don't know.
Panowie, dostaliśmy informację, że Niemcy przejęli nasze bunkry, znajdujące się niedaleko stąd. Pojedziemy i połączymy się z będącymi w pobliżu siłami. Odbijemy je. Jakieś pytania?
Panie poruczniku, ale ten samochód jest chyba za mały na nas wszystkich.
Celna uwaga, Kordys. Jako że ty i Kowalski pojawiliście się ostatni, biegniecie za nami. Powodzenia!
Rip. Frame rate stutter.
Szlak! Co ty tam, Piotrek, mówiłeś wcześniej? Coś, że fajne było to?
Zamknij się.
Karma, chłopie. Karma.
Słyszysz? Coś blisko te strzały.
Może dźwięk po prostu się niesie.
Nie, to nie to. Bądź czujny. Cholera, nasz pluton.
Daleko nie zajechali.
Biegiem, trzeba im pomóc.
Piotrek! Heniek! Całe szczęście! Kompletnie
Yeah,
nas zaskoczyli!
Strzelaj, nie gadaj.
Voice acting, like I said, leaves a lot to be desired. Even with the original Polish dialogue, it seems like the actors didn't really care all that much. It's a shame because I think if this had better voice acting, I think it would actually be better. Oh shit! Comrades are dead. The other thing about this game, which I actually like, it doesn't automatically reload for you. You have to watch it. That's so feels more realistic. And I'm taking heavy fire. Should look for a grenade. It's my grenade button. Using 33. Yep, that's accurate. Oh, I got one of them. Shit. Damn, I'm terrible.
Jedno pytanie. Heniek, musimy iść dalej. Nie ma czasu.
Wiem. Miałem nadzieję, że zdążę mu oddać te papierosy, a cały czas miałem jakieś wymówki.
Nie przejmuj się tym. Marek na pewno na to nie zważał.
Yeah, the voice acting does kind of get on my nerves at times. Like, come on, put a little effort in. I mean, the people who designed the game, like, they put effort in. Can't the actors put in? It doesn't matter. Oh, this one.
CKM! Z bunkra!
Widzę. Idziemy od osłony do osłony.
Like how the other guy just yells like, "Oh shit, we're under fire," and then you're just like talking like you're doing an oil change. It's jarring, like I said before. Like I've said, voice acting is subpar, but the rest of the game actually I think it's pretty good, especially considering the setting. I've always wanted a first-person shooter game with a set in Invasion of Poland. And this game does that. That guy in the bunker just spraying and praying. Not even an effort. Really, you're sending all these people to do something. Come on. Move, Henry. Move. I'll show myself. The soundtrack is still good. I like this. Come on. If you get too close, the machine gun will still have to do some more damage.
Powinni to być nasi.
Pewnie atakują od innej strony.
Jeśli tak, to musimy się do nich przebić. Nie odpuszczaj.
Yeah, whoever voiced the main character, Kowalski, the guy I'm playing as, did not give like half of a fuck about putting emotion to his performance. Honestly, I've been wondering if I should like dub it over myself. I don't speak Polish, but I think even the American whose only other language he really knows any of is German, I think I would still do better just reading off a Polish language script. But I do like this game. Now, it does have flaws. I acknowledge that. It has plenty of flaws. But I actually like it. I've actually played this game a lot. As many flaws as it has, I think it does a lot of good things. Some things I think it does better than many critics choose. Like, I play Call of Duty Vanguard. I have never seen a game give less of a fuck about historical accuracy than Vanguard. This game, even when it's not entirely accurate, at least it tries. And in the end, that's really what matters, is effort. And effort was put into this game. You can see it. Another detail I like, he inserts the rounds one by one when he still has rounds left. When his gun is fully empty, he inserts a stripper clip. That's a nice little detail. Another thing is he moves his hand when you're reloading a partially empty magazine. He covers the chamber with his fingers to stop the round from extracting. So yeah, they did their homework with this. Like, they really did their homework with this. Anyway, I'll shut up and I'll move on. We'll do it all day talking about bullshit. Fuck. Yeah, this game does have difficulty spikes.
Chyba mamy anioła stróża.
Nasi z przodu.
Comrades. Oh, look at that. That was an MP-28. And yes, that was the more common German submachine gun in 1939, the MP-40. Now, I don't know if you noticed earlier, but some of the German soldiers here are carrying MP-38s, and I actually thought that was lazy, but I thought, they didn't do the research because I thought they were a year early. Apparently, no. The MP-38 did actually see combat service in Poland. Not in large numbers, but it was there. So, yeah, game developers got that right.
Czołem. Ten wybuch to wasza sprawka?
Tak. Było ciężko, ale udało mi się zbliżyć i wrzucić granaty do środka.
Brawo. Fachowa robota.
Dzięki. Gdzie reszta waszego oddziału?
Padliśmy w zasadzkę po drodze. Tylko my przeżyliśmy.
Cholera. Przydaliby się teraz.
Jaki jest plan?
Musimy iść dalej i spróbować odbić to, co zostało z naszej linii obrony. W lesie jest jednak pełno Niemców, a przed nami jeszcze 2 bunkry. Pewnie zajęte.
Dobra. Nie mamy czasu do stracenia. Ruszajmy. Może gdzieś jeszcze są nasi.
Environments are pretty well modeled too. I mean, you can't really explore very well. There are visible walls and boundaries, but they got they got the environments pretty good.
A niech mnie.
Co tu się stało do cholery?
Wygląda na robotę ciężkiego kalibru. Jak się przyjrzycie, widać ślady.
Dranie! Nie oszczędzili nikogo! Nie zatrzymujmy się! Dalej może ktoś jeszcze żyć!
Cicho, słyszycie to? Ktoś tutaj biegnie. Psia krew, to Niemcy. Szybko, za ciężarówkę. Poczekaj, aż przejdą, to sprzątniemy ich z zaskoczenia.
I can nail 2 in one shot.
Mamy ich. To pewnie był zwiat. Przyszli od strony
2
ostatniego
for
bunkra.
1.
Tam się pewnie kierujemy, co?
Tak, ale uważajcie. Do tej pory zdążyli już pewnie solidnie się tam okopać.
This game does have difficulty spikes. I usually don't like those, but these are like manageable if you play through.
Piotrek, przebij się flanką! Postaramy się ściągnąć na siebie ich uwagę! Biegiem!
Dobra, trzymajcie się.
Got some. Oh, I got most of them. Only 2 left. God damn it. Okay, 1 more. You can't kill the guy in the bunker, you have to actually breach the bunker to kill him. I also don't recall the Poles clearing bunkers in Mokra, but again, this, it's for gameplay reasons. Like, if this was if this is like entirely historically accurate, most of this game would just be you sitting around waiting for orders on long intervals between battles.
Cholera. Wszędzie ich pełno.
uniform, like I said, is pretty good. Pretty accurate. Typical Wehrmacht field uniform for late summer, 1930s. Yeah, good. Oh, here's the MP28. Pick that up earlier. Fun. Yep. 8 rounds, they got that too. Blowing some points. Turning around is a little difficult in this game, it's so sluggish. You have a mouse pad. Shot me through the wall. Oh, pop it. Take that. That's good luck. More of you? Yep, that's Hotchkiss. Oh, 1914, I think. Yep. Germans would probably be using an MG34, but plausibly you could say like that's just a captured Polish gun. But yeah, let's see.
Kowalski, zrobiliście kawał dobrej roboty.
Dziękuję. Dwaj żołnierze z drugiej linii obrony bardzo nam pomogli. Gdyby nie oni, to moglibyśmy się nie przebić.
No dobra, koniec chwalenia, Kowalski. Macie następne zadanie. Niemcy przebijają się szybciej niż zakładaliśmy. Wiemy, że od północnego zachodu zbliżają się wrogie jednostki zmechanizowane. Musisz dotrzeć do pobliskiej radiostacji i wezwać wsparcie pociągu Piłsudczyka, by rozprawił się z tymi draniami.
Tak jest. Spodziewamy się jakiegoś oporu?
Droga
So,
powinna być
Piłsudczyk was
czysta,
an actual armored car.
ale na wszelki
It
wypadek
was actually
zachowaj
built in
czujność.
Austria-Hungary.
To co, Piotrek?
And
Ruszamy?
I forget if it was
Niestety,
lent to Poland
panie
or
Henku.
given to them
Jest mi
after
pan potrzebny do
World
innego
War
zadania.
I was over.
Dobrze, to ruszam.
And it
Bywajcie.
saw service in Mokra during the Battle of Mokra during the German invasion. I believe it was either destroyed by German bombs later on in the invasion or was intentionally blown up by the Poles. I have to check again. Anyway, Hamilton radio station. Shit, there's no. Damn it. Apparently the way wasn't clear. Gotcha. This is again one of my favorite parts of the soundtrack, this one. Looks clear. The radio's up there. Oh shit. Huh. See that can on his back? That actually is a gas mask. In the beginning of World War, in the beginning of World War II, there were a lot of fears that chemical weapons would be used, so a lot of German soldiers were issued with gas masks, and they were kept in cans like that. He has one on his back. And his body's free. Oh, it's nothing. The rifle he has, you can see it's a Mauser. It's a Carbiner 98 Kurz. Very similar to the one I'm holding. Yeah, they modeled that one too. That's right. Radio. Good time events.
Szeregowy Kowalski do Piłsudczyka. Szeregowy Kowalski do Piłsudczyka. Odbiór.
Piłsudczyk zgłasza się.
Potrzebne nam wsparcie na przedpolach Mokrej. Zbliża się do nas oddział pancerny.
Dobrze,
And
ruszamy.
that was also true.
Niedługo
Panzer
będziemy
Division
na
did
miejscu.
come in, trying to shell
Wytrzymajcie.
Mokra and weaken up the defenses.
Piłsudczyk bez
And
odbioru.
the armored train did help repel them. There's another thing I like about this game. There's a lot of gameplay variety. Like here I'm controlling the armored train. And advance one. Not the Panzer I's actually accurate. They're lightweight, pretty capable of crossing terrain easily. They were widely used by the Germans during the invasion of Poland, but they actually suffered heavy casualties during the invasion, so and weren't all that effective. Because as you can see, they only have machine guns. They don't have any like cannons. So after the invasion of Poland, they were kind of sidelined. I think they saw like some uses like infantry transport or support vehicle, but you know, all in all, they were really outdated. They were well built, but you know, too lightly armored and too lightly armed for World War II. Oh, yeah. There's one more out there. Where'd you go? Is that you? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
Z każdą minutą czułem, że coraz bardziej opuszczają mnie siły. A przecież to był dopiero początek. O powrocie do domu nie było już mowy. Zresztą do jakiego domu? Mokra nie mogła upaść. Ostatnią nadzieją na utrzymanie pozycji był stacjonujący nieopodal w jednej wsi oddział.
This game does make it seem like sound like Mokra
zaraz po
was
ataku.
like they were barely holding out. That's not entirely accurate. They actually held out pretty well. The Germans gave up trying to take it after the first day. And I don't believe it fell until the Poles were ordered to withdraw from Mokra to defend Warsaw. In fact, a lot of the Polish victories in the West in the initial German invasion, a lot of the places there that fell were because the Poles simply withdrew. They actually fought pretty well, and the Germans were actually taken aback. But yeah, that was the first mission. I think there are a total of 8 or 9 missions in this game. And yeah, this game got really negative reviews on Steam, and I can kind of see why. Like, it's a little rough around the edges. The voice acting is not that good. And on its face, it kind of looks like a generic World War II first-person shooter. But I really like this game. I gave it a chance, in spite of all negative reviews. I really love reading about Polish military history, especially during World War II. I had long been waiting for a game to be set in 1939 Poland, and this game does that. And not only does it do it, it does it well. You know, it even does it better than some other like AAA big titles like Call of Duty Vanguard. You know, Vanguard, yeah, it was set in World War II, but it didn't feel authentic at all. Like, you know, you had woke SJW shit in there, you had guns that didn't belong there with crazy attachments and anachronistic shit. This game, it feels authentic, and you can tell, like, they weren't just trying to make a quick buck. They really put effort and time and heart into this project. I wrote a glowing review for this game on Steam. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And you might be thinking I'm being a little generous by giving it that high. Yeah, maybe I am. But just when you consider the context, like, this is a tiny independent game developing studio that made this with little to no budget, but a love for history. Clearly, they had a love for history, and they want to bring this story, like an immersive FPS covering Polish defensive war of 1939. I think they accomplished that goal. I mean, yeah, this game isn't perfect, but it doesn't have to be. I think it's a good game. So yeah, it's available on Steam. It's $20. You know, if you have the money and time, I say give it a chance. I gave it a chance, and I'm really glad I did. I really like this game. Has a lot going for it despite its setbacks, and I encourage everyone else to give it a chance as well. I'll probably make some more videos playing more levels of this game, and some other games as well. But yeah, till next time, peace out.